The BT Tower is a communications tower located in Fitzrovia, London, owned by BT Group. It has been previously known as the Post Office Tower, the London Telecom Tower and the British Telecom Tower. The main structure is 177 metres high, with a further section of aerial rigging bringing the total height to 191 metres. It should not be confused with the BT Centre. Its post office code was YTOW. In 1962, while still under construction, the BT Tower overtook St Paul's Cathedral to become the tallest building in London. Upon completion it overtook the Millbank Tower to once again become the tallest building in both London and the United Kingdom, titles it held until 1980, when it in turn was overtaken by the NatWest Tower. History: 20th century, the tower was commissioned by the General Post Office. Its primary purpose was to support the microwave aerials then used to carry telecommunications traffic from London to the rest of the country, as part of the British Telecom microwave network. It replaced a much shorter steel lattice tower which had been built on the roof of the neighbouring Museum Telephone Exchange in the late 1940s to provide a television link between London and Birmingham. The taller structure was required to protect the radio link's line of sight against some of the tall buildings in London then in the planning stage. These links were routed via other GPO microwave stations at Harrow Weald, Bagshot, Kelvedon Hatch and Fairseat, and to places like the London Air Traffic Control Centre at West Drayton. The tower was designed by the architects of the Ministry of Public Building and Works. The chief architects were Eric Bedford and G. A. Yates. Typical for its time, the building is concrete clad in glass. The narrow cylindrical shape was chosen because of the requirements of the communications aerials. The building will shift no more than 25 centimeters and wind speeds of up to 150 km/h. Initially the first 16 floors were for technical equipment and power. Above that was a 35-meter section for the microwave aerials, and above that were 6 floors of suites, kitchens, technical equipment and finally a cantilevered steel lattice tower. To prevent heat build-up the glass cladding was of a special tint. The construction cost was £82.5 million. Construction began in June 1961, and owing to the building's height and its having a tower crane jib across the top virtually throughout the whole construction period, it gradually became a very prominent landmark that could be seen from almost anywhere in London. In August 1963 there was even a question raised in Parliament about the crane. Dr. Reginald Bennett MP asked the Minister of Public Building and Works how, when the crane on the top of the new Post Office Tower had fulfilled its purpose, he proposed to remove it. Mr. Geoffrey Rippon replied, "This is a matter for the contractors. The problem does not have to be solved for about a year but there appears to be no danger of the crane having to be left in situ." The tower was topped out on July 15, 1964 and officially opened by the then Prime Minister Harold Wilson on October 8, 1965. The main contractor was Peter Lind & Company Limited. Upon its completion, the tower was designated an official secret and did not appear on Ordnance Survey maps until after it was officially revealed by Kate Hoey under parliamentary privilege in 1993. Despite being a 177-metre-tall structure in the middle of central London that was open to the public for about 15 years. The tower was originally designed to be just 111 metres, and its foundations are sunk down through 53 metres of London clay and are formed of a concrete raft 27 metres square, a metre thick, reinforced with 6 layers of cables on top of which sits a reinforced concrete pyramid. The tower was officially opened to the public on May 16, 1966 by Tony Benn and Billy Butlin. As well as the communications equipment and office space there were viewing galleries, a souvenir shop, and a rotating restaurant, the top of the tower, on the 34th floor, operated by Butlins. It made one revolution every 22 minutes. An annual race up the stairs of the tower was established and the first race was won by UCL student Alan Green. Tony Benn also designated the tower a mascot of UCL after lobbying by students. Comedian Pat Condell washed dishes in the kitchen for his first job. A bomb, responsibility for which was claimed by the Provisional IRA, exploded in the roof of the men's toilets at the top of the Tower restaurant on October 31, 1971. The restaurant was closed to the public for security reasons in 1980, the year in which the Butlins lease eventually expired. Public access to the building ceased in 1981. The Tower is sometimes used for corporate events, but the closure of the Tower restaurant to the public means London has no revolving restaurant of the type common in major cities throughout the world. 21st century. The Tower is still in use, and is the site of a major UK communications hub. Microwave links have been replaced by subterranean fibre optic links for most mainstream purposes, but the former are still in use at the Tower. The second floor of the base of the Tower contains the TV network switching centre, which carries broadcasting traffic and relays signals between television broadcasters, production companies, advertisers, international satellite services and uplink companies. The outside broadcast control is located about the former revolving restaurant, with the kitchens on floor 35. A renovation in the early 2000s introduced a 360-degree colored lighting display at the top of the Tower. 7 colors were programmed to vary constantly at night and intended to appear as a rotating globe to reflect BT's connected world corporate styling. The colored lights give the Tower a distinctive appearance on the London skyline at night. In October 2009, a 360-degree full-color LED-based display system was installed at the top of the Tower, to replace the previous color projection system. The new display, referred to by BT as the information band, is wrapped around the 36th and 37th floors of the Tower, 167 am up. The display comprises some 529,750 LEDs arranged in 177 vertical strips, spaced around the Tower. The display is the largest in the world of its type, occupying an area of 280 am2 and with a circumference of 59 am. On October 31, 2009, the screen began displaying a countdown of the number of days until the start of the London Olympics in 2012. In October 2009, The Times reported that the rotating restaurant would be reopened in time for the 2012 London Olympics. However, in December 2010, it was further announced that the plans to reopen had now been quietly dropped with no explanation as to the decision. The BT Tower was given Grade 2 listed building status in 2003. Several of the defunct antennas located on the building could not be removed unless the appropriate listed building consent was granted, as they were protected by this listing. In 2011, permission for the removal of the defunct antennas was approved on safety grounds as they were in a bad state of repair and the fixings were no longer secure. In December 2011, the last of the antennas was removed, leaving the core of the Tower visible. Entry to the building is provided by 2 high-speed lifts which travel at 7 meters per second, reaching the top of the building in under 30 seconds. An Act of Parliament was passed to vary fire regulations, allowing the building to be evacuated by using the lifts unlike other buildings of the time. The Tower is being used in a study to help monitor air quality in the capital. The aim is to measure pollutant levels above ground level to determine their source. One area of investigation is the long-range transport of fine particles from outside the city. Appearances and fiction. In Sky One's adaptation of The Runaway, the IRA bombing of the Tower is featured in Episode 4. Large portions of the 1966 Doctor Who serial The War Machines were set in and around the Tower. In the 1967 film Smashing Time, it appeared to spin out of control and short-circuit the whole of London's power supply. The Tower is featured in Stanley Donen's 1967 film Bedazzled as a vantage point from which Peter Cook, playing Satan, launches various forms of mischief. The Tower is featured in the most famous scene in The Goodies when it is toppled over by Twinkle the Giant Kitten in the episode Kitten Kong. This scene was included in the title sequence of all later series. The Tower is destroyed by an apparently alien robot from Mars, in fact a device operated by Baron Silas Greenback and in an episode of Danger Mouse. In Alan Moore's graphic novel V for Vendetta, the Tower is headquarters for both the eye and the ear, the visual and audio surveillance divisions of the government. The Tower is destroyed through sabotage. It is also featured in the film adaptation, although it is not destroyed. It is renamed Jordan Tower in the film and is the headquarters of the British television network. The tower is destroyed in the James Herbert novel The Fog by a Boeing 747 whose captain has been driven mad by fog. It appears on the cover of, and features in, Saturday by Ian McEwan. Frank Muir's short story The Law Is Not Concerned with Trifles is set in the tower's revolving restaurant. In Patrick Keeler's film London, the narrator claims the tower is a monument to the love affair between Arthur Rimbaud and Paul Verlaine, who lived nearby. The bombing is a central plot feature of Hari Kunzru's 2007 novel My Revolutions, in which the bomb is the work of political radicals who are never caught. In Daniel H. Wilson's 2011 novel, Robopocalypse, the tower is used by the sentient artificial intelligence named Archos to control and jam satellite communications. See also: List of masts. Radio and TV towers are also used for transmission. List of tallest buildings and structures in Great Britain. List of towers, tall buildings in London. Telecommunications towers in the UK. Telecom infrastructure sharing. References. External links. Glancy, Jonathan. Why We Love the BT Tower, Arts Critics, Guardian Unlimited Arts. The Guardian. Retrieved April 29, 2007. Connected Earth, Learning Centre. Archived from the original on September 28, 2007. Retrieved April 29, 2007. BBC, Radio 1, Annie Nightingale. Retrieved April 29, 2007. Glancy, Jonathan. The Great Communicator, 2005, Guardian Unlimited Arts. The Guardian. Retrieved April 29, 2007. BT Tower at Strokersbury. Retrieved on May 30, 2007. Peter Lind and Company, Building Contractors. Archived from the original on April 29, 2007. Retrieved April 29, 2007. http www.btplc.com BTS History 1965 HTM, Post Office Tower, 1, photo of the tower before completion, UCL. Documentary film of the tower. Retrieved May 13, 2009. The Tower from Conway Street QuickTime Panorama, British Tours Limited. Retrieved May 28, 2009. BT Tower photo feature on Urban 75. Retrieved December 23, 2010. BT Tower restaurant plans abandoned. Retrieved December 23, 2010. The Transmission Gallery, BT Tower photographs, 320 gigapixel panoramic view.